alive?
Isaac Clarke. I'm going to show you some images and I want you to tell me about them.
It was just a short blip. Don't think there's any head. So much shit in my head.
That was the trailer to the sequel to one of my favorite games, Dead Space 2. And thanks to all of you on my DeviantArt, thank you for picking this game. And I am very excited to review it. Now, let's move on to one of the first things you do when you get into this. The loading screen. And this is what basically the menu looks like. Though due to the camera quality, let's just say it's not working alright. Anyway, you can choose a variety of difficulties from Survivor, Normal, Hard. But at the moment, I'm just gonna play this game in the normal difficulty. You guys can play whatever you want. And hardcore mode is when you beat the game, which I'm probably not gonna do. Anyway, now let's actually get into the story, as well as check out the lighting, which I'm gonna keep at a medium level, but you guys can choose whatever you want. Now, let's actually move in to this little adventure, and I'm gonna shut up for most of the opening cutscene. Enjoy!
Isaac, are you there? Come in, Isaac. Oh, God. I'm so sorry, Isaac. Look at the time difference.
No, it's okay. How you doing?
Good. You're right, Isaac. The Ishimura is a great ship. I am so lucky to be serving aboard her.
Angel will outlast. You know they're going to decommission her next year.
Isaac, thank you.
For what?
For just pushing me to do this. I mean, if it weren't for you, I never would have made it this far, because you made me stick with it.
I'll just remember, I'm giving you up for 6 months so you can do this.
You know what? We must be getting an arrangement, Shay.
Isaac! You were drifting away for a moment there, Mr. Clarke. I believe you were telling me about your nightmares that you've been having. About your dead girlfriend. What was her name?
Nicole, I didn't want it to end like this. I really wanted to see you again. Just once. I loved you. I always loved you.
Yes. Nicole Brennan. She was a senior medical officer stationed aboard a Planet Cracker-class vessel.
The Ishimura.
USG Ishimura, yes. Part of a mining operation on Aegis 7. I understand communications went down shortly after their arrival. You were part of the repair mission. A mission for which you volunteered, am I right? What did you find aboard that ship, Isaac?
I found something.
What did they find aboard the ship, Isaac?
The marker.
Did you have contact with this marker? It made you see things, didn't it? Things you didn't want to see.
It spoke to me.
What did it say, Isaac? What did it say to you, Isaac?
Isaac. Isaac, can you hear me? Dane, I found Isaac Clark. Repeat, I have him.
Great work, Franco. Be careful. He's been out a long time.
Okay. Good. Steady. We gotta get you out of this straitjacket. Where what? Alright, I know you're confused right now. I can explain everything, but you gotta trust me, okay? Listen, you're in terrible danger.
And with that special opening, you can actually have some gameplay, but you have to run from an army of slashes and a few infectors here and there. Yeah, pretty energetic way to show how bad things are now. And I like this shot with the shadows and the necromorphs in the background. And it ends with this little quick time event with this one slasher and a straitjacket. But it's pretty easy to avoid. Anyway, most of this section is just you walking around here and there. Pretty standard stuff. And unlike the first game, there are no names for the chapters, at least to my knowledge. So I'm not going to really show each individual chapter, so that would be aggressive. Anyway, here is the save system, and it works exactly like the first game. Yep. And I'm going to actually skip a bit until we get our first chance to kill some necromorphs. Also, another thing I would like to note is that the slashers in each area of the game are slightly different. Pretty cool compared to the first game. And also, there might be some government guys trying to kill you. However, as seen here, they're nothing but prey to the most dangerous monsters of all of fiction. Now, let's actually have a look at our first time to fight these necromorphs. Also, I'm not going to cover much in terms of the gameplay and stuff. It's mostly the same as the original Dead Space, but with a few minor changes, like these air vent scenes. Yeah, pretty cool, am I right? Though the necromorphs can go into vents, strangely enough, they never attack you within these, which is very unusual, especially since a few necromorphs I remember from the first game can actually attack you while you're sitting down. Anyway, before you get your plasma cutter, you must get this lovely beauty. The Canisius, which has been vastly upgraded from the first game. Now let's see what this bad boy can do after we get it out of this box that's holding up this body. You can use these special wire spears or whatever to bust through doors, and more importantly, kill necromorphs. Though it doesn't always work, and that cutting part is a lot more effective. But you can also grab the limbs off of these slashes or whatever other sharp parts these necromorphs have, and you'll use it to kill them. And these necromorphs looks as good as anyone. Now, I'm gonna skip a bit further until we get our plasma cutter. So yeah, now let's see our first real weapon. As you see right here, we have a poor guy stuck to a hospital thing with a laser cutter or plasma cutter, and there are a few necromorphs around. So let's do something good and get this guy free before he gets ripped to bloody pieces by the monsters.
Tissue laser? A plasma cutter? Oh my god! Fuck! What the fuck are you doing? Shit! Help! I'm trying! I'm trying!
Unfortunately, too late, and like in the original Dead Space, these creatures can only be killed by cutting off their limbs. Though stabbing them with them will actually knock them over, which will make it easier to kill them. And like in the original, there are boxes that you can open up. One's on the wall, one's on the floor, and crates you can smash. Blue means they're available, and red means they're not. Now, let's actually move a bit further to see our suit. After a bit of exploration, you eventually do find the store, and with it, you can unlock your suit, and it doesn't actually cost that much, at least for right now. Once you get your suit, you can then go on to see the first boss. But for now, I'll be quiet. Unfortunately, you cannot buy anything else at the moment. Though there is one other thing you can do other than just sell stuff. That, in fact, it somewhat appears before the boss, which I'll show you right now. Just like the original Dead Space, there are areas that are completely silent in the void of space, and there's actually a little trick with these power nodes. However, I'm not going to show them off right now. Anyway, there's also something else you can do in the void, but I'll show you that after we defeat the first boss, a strange-looking necromorph known as the Tripods. Doesn't it look intimidating? And I'll go over the necromorphs eventually. Defeat this guy to cut off its legs. Not a tough boss, not a simple boss for all intents and purposes. And the prince in this area, which I might show off. Let's finish this beast off.
I need more answers. 3 years. Tywin found you floating in space near Aegis 7 and brought you here for study. The marker you found imprinted your brain with a self-replicating signal. The longer you're awake, the more the signal spreads. It's killing you, Isaac. Tywin will check with memory suppressors.
You said you could fix it, right?
Only if you reach me in time. Translation, get moving.
Something we haven't, which is another thing from the original, but I feel like you should see it anyway. That's right, storage rooms come back. If you have a power node on you, you can unlock these, and you can get supplies, schematics, and other stuff. My inventory is full at the moment, but let's be assured you will get some good stuff. Now let's actually move on to some new weapons. Here we have what is known as the javelin gun, and with it, you can basically do that with the spears, but with an extra twist, you can electrify the necromorphs, which is useful against the weaker ones, but not against upgraded versions. You also get returning weapons, like the flamethrower, pulse rifle, the line gun, and the ripper. And I'm not going to show anything else, because let's just say I have some surprises that I don't want to spoil. Now let's move on to the necromorphs. Most of the returning necromorphs from the first game have appeared, like you've been seeing slashers, infectors, and of course the classic leapers, the skull-crawling looking ones. But I'm mainly going to show lights to some bosses and the new guys, since I'm not going to show the classic ones. And yes, the lurkers, the baby necromorphs are back, but they're not the only childlike ones. The first of the new ones has a pretty incredible entrance. This unique necromorph, known as the Puker, is a nice addition. I mean, it's basically one of the few options necromorphs have for range options, other than the lurker. And these guys are somewhat deadly. They can either have an acid ball or an acid stream, and they can still shoot even with their heads blown off. There's also an upgraded version that I might show, but no promises. Though, the real new stars has to be the childlike ones. Also, you've seen the tripod, which is another new necromorph subtype. Anyway, now let's look at the pack, which are necromorph children. And while they don't take that much punishment, they do get into some pretty impressive numbers. And if you don't finish the pack, they will kill you. And these guys are real trouble for me in my previous attempts to play Dead Space 2. Trust me on that. But anyways, they're not the only childlike necromorph, along with the previously mentioned lurker, which I might go through. The other one is basically a baby version of the Exploder, which you'll see right now. And their introduction scene is very appropriate. Yeah, I'm pretty sure she's completely and utterly insane. Ooh! Yeah, good thing this suit can handle some pretty big explosions. Yeah, those things are incredibly dangerous. And unlike the exploders, these guys are a lot tougher to hit due to their smaller size. However, if you chop off their heads, which I know it kind of sounds bad due to the fact that we're talking about babies here, but it's okay since they're monsters. Their explosive nature also means to go on in just the right way. You can actually kill multiple ones. I've seen this a little bit earlier. Now, let's move on to something a little more space-inducing. This will also give me the perfect opportunity to show off the space movement. You see, you can actually use true spaceflight, and as you can see right over there, that is one of the newest necromorphs specifically you can find in zero-G environments. The Nest, as it's called. This is a pretty simple defensive-based one. Think of it like a Guardian. It might even sound similar. And but unlike the Guardian, you just have to shot those yellow pustules. as they shoot those little things, whatever they are. So yeah, not as hard, and I think you can get really close up to them without them doing an instant kill. There's also another type of defensive necromorph that is on, well, more, how should I say, grounded. But before I do that, if you're running low on oxygen and you cannot complete it in time, you can find these oxygen packs just like in the original. I think this new system works. I'm hoping for Dead Space 3 to really kick it up a notch. I heard it's good. Anyway, now let's move on to the next new necromorph. These weird ones are known as cysts. They form around the corruption and form as another form of God, and, well, I don't know if I should call them an enemy. They're more of an obstacle than anything. Hell, they explode, they shoot out a little thing to kill any enemies nearby. It doesn't do that much damage, and it more often than not, the necromorphs kill each other as a result. So yeah, it's not that useful, and this might be the only time to see some other weapons being used. And as you can see, yes, the fragment is in the game as well. Now, you're probably wondering where another famous necromorph is. Well, I'll show them off right now. But they are definitely not my favorite one in the game. Though I do think their entrance is pretty cool. Well, hearing them rip apart a body in the distance with their calls and being heard just out of sight. Their behavior is right out of Jurassic World or Jurassic Park, or maybe even Dino Crisis for a more fitting comparison. Though, you think you can escape them that easily when you run into when you go through this door. However, my true favorite necromorph is just behind it, and we'll see it quite soon. But now, let's be introduced to the Stalkers. These creatures are more cunning than the other necromorphs, and their shrieks definitely remind me of some kind of reptilian beast. In fact, they kind of look like a cross between a dinosaur, that being a Pachycephalosaurus and a raptor. Though you can stasis them, which it makes it much easier to deal with them. You can also get special weapons, or if you're really lucky, you can just stun them with their own claws, which aren't the same as a slasher's classic one, but it gets the job done. There's also an advanced version, which I'll show you right now, after I kill these remaining ones, actually. Yeah, that's kind of a lie.
Isaac, I can't unlock the elevator. Can you do anything from your end?
Though, personally speaking, I don't know if these creatures even have proper genders, so I don't know if this Jurassic Park quote is accurate. Anyway, now let's actually move on to the enhanced versions of these Stalkers. As you see here, you can see the more advanced version of this creature. And, well, while it is a bit tougher, it's not that hard to defeat if you know what you're doing. Anyway, if you're wondering what my absolute favorite necromorph is, it would have to be this guy. a one-time monster, one of the only unique bosses in the game, the Tormentor. And trust me, it looks beautiful. Kind of wish we get to see it more often. However, this is the only chance you really have to fight it, and all you really do is blow off an arm. And I would like you to experience him for yourself. So unfortunately, this is all you're gonna get of him. For now. At least in the game. And I guess we should move on to the armors. Or at least the ones you get after you complete the game. Once you complete the game, you get control of the riot control suit. Basically what the military guys wear. Anyway, now let's see this bad boy in action. And you only get this after you beat the game. And this is it. And there is another suit that I'm going to show pretty soon, but I think there might be more, though I don't want to play through the whole game to get them all. So you have to look for them yourselves. Anyway, here is the other one. Here we have the elite engineering suit, which is pretty nice, unlike the gold chain. And I might get the other suits eventually. Now let's move on to the last thing, the levels you'll be exploring. And there's quite a variety of them. Unlike the Ishimura, we actually get to see the Necromorphs doing their thing and destroying everything. They're practically everywhere, killing as many people as they can possibly can and infecting those they can find. It's quite terrifying how fast these guys spread. And we're practically in a city, so we can get a variety of strange and new environments. Like, for example, this train station being overrun. You also get areas like a daycare, where you'll fight the child-like necromorphs. The Church of Unitology itself, a really famous place. And finally, where it all began, the Ishimura, where it's been discontaminated. And yeah, and I would like to leave you off with one final note. Like this video.
By the 25th century, Earth's resources were ravaged, consumed,
Good night,
exhausted,
and have sweet dreams. And remember,
desperate and on the verge of extinction, we cast out into the void of space and discovered rich new worlds waiting to be cracked open and stripped bare. All of Earth became devoted to this effort. The planet crackers were built, the USG Ishimura the first and most famous. Planet cracking became routine. Its spoils kept us alive. Eventually, greedy eyes fell upon Aegis 7. Restricted for centuries for reasons unknown, greed and corruption saw to the demise of caution. There, buried beneath the surface, an artifact, the red marker, long lost and long forgotten. The religion I once called my own had found its holy grail, the key to human immortality. Or so we thought. It did not bring salvation. Witness the convictions of a true
who escaped the planet fled to the safety of the orbiting Ishimura.
This is Shuttle CSO-4. The colony is overrun. We can't go back.
The scourge released upon Aegis 7 came with them. Within hours, the Ishimura went dark. The corporation dispatched a small repair crew to check on its investment.
Seems like everyone was trying to pack in a hurry.
Among the crew was an engineer, Isaac Clarke.
Isaac, it's me.
He had something special aboard the Ishimura.
I wish I could talk to you.
In the darkness, Isaac found death.
I think there's a room with us.
And the red marker. It was not holy, it was not alien, it was man-made, and it could be used to stop the outbreak. Isaac also found Nicole.
Thank you, Isaac. I always believed in you.
Dead by her own hand, she was an apparition of the marker. Isaac engineered his escape. But everything else was destroyed. Later, he wakes in a hospital on Titan Station, an Earth-gov metropolis on Saturn's largest moon. Isaac has survived, but his mind is no longer safe. For the marker changes all.
Still here? Well, there is one thing I did left out, and it appears at the very end, so this is your spoilers. You can actually see it first when you bring the necromorphs into the government sector, but it only appears here, and you won't see him for quite some time. And, well, it's basically this game's version of the Hunter. If you want to see that, click my review on the right side of the screen. Anyway, once you eventually escape this little room and fight your way through necromorphs, especially after you reach the marker, which, well, I'm just gonna let you see this little cutscene showing the full size of the marker. Enjoy.
What are they doing?
They're all coming to the marker.
After that, you encounter the Ubermorph himself, and well, it's basically the Hunter, but given a more alien design. I think this creature's supposed to be proto-hive mind, or whatever you would like to call this creature. Anyway, my advice with this is just run. Unlike the Hunter, you will not kill it until you defeat the game. And to prove my point on how similar this creature is to the Hunter, you will see what it does to you. Enjoy! Also, my copy of Dead Space 2 comes with this little bonus game. Maybe I'll review this instead of Dead Space 3, but I'll let you guys decide. You know what to do. Like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.